I'm so excited. We are doing another solo episode today, another Ask Me Anything. So I hope you're ready for round 2. What's the most interesting TikTok wormhole I've gone down recently? Saw a clip of something and it was like, I'm not joking, 53 parts. Guess who watched 1 through 53? Me. Wow. It was crazy. The most outrageous thing you do to maintain your youth. What was that one thing I did? They were like, you need to wear diapers, you can't move. And I was the only one. I was like, is this a sign? Should I be doing this? I think they're the only place in California that does it. I don't know, it was like revolutionary. When was the time you got in the most trouble growing up? Okay, so I was the best kid until they were like, your mom will deal with you. And I was like,
I never heard that before.
Oh, Kris Jenner loves to talk about that one. That one wasn't good.
Here we go.
I'm so excited to be back again. We are doing another solo episode today, another Ask Me Anything, because the first one, we received so many questions, comments, all that stuff that we had to do a part 2. I feel like we can do a part 20 of these because we get so many great questions. I'm coming off a really great weekend. My kids went to SeaWorld, and I don't do SeaWorld. So them and a few of the cousins, they went and they had an overnight trip, and it's really silly, but I haven't had my house. It's one thing if I go out of town for a work trip, my kids will have my house without me, but I never have my house without my kids. So in the day you're working or you're busy and you're just so busy you don't notice, but at dinner time to not have anyone in your home, it's so weird. Like I'm just used to being around so many kids and all the dancing and the singing, and then it's so silent. It was so strange. But I did get to watch Love Island. So there's that. Okay, so I'm just going to dive into the questions. You guys submitted a bunch of questions. My team compiled them, printed them out, and I haven't reviewed them. So I'm just going to read them with you guys and answer the best that I can. How did True take it when you told her she was going to be a big sister? When I told True she was going to be a big sister, she handled it perfectly. I think I had way more anxiety in telling her because it was different circumstances. I wasn't pregnant myself, so she didn't get to see my tummy growing. And I felt like because she didn't get to see that, I had a lot more guilt, or I was way more in my head as to how she was going to process it. And it's also not the traditional way in which you have a child. So I remember I told her when the surrogate was definitely in the second trimester, I told True, we're going to have another baby. You're going to have a baby brother. She was like, okay. I think I did reference Auntie Kylie and how Stormy's going to be a big sister and True's going to be a big sister as well. I did reference that, but I know True was like, well, where's the baby? Like in my tummy, because Kylie was pregnant. And I can't remember exactly what I told her, but kids are resilient. We made it through. And then True started telling people, I'm going to have a baby brother. Or a baby. I can't remember. I think just a baby brother. And no one believed her because no one knew except me, her dad, the surrogate, like very small amount of people knew. And people were like, oh, she's so cute. She really wants another sibling. People would tell me she really wants another sibling. She keeps talking about she's going to have a baby brother. They thought because Stormy was having one, maybe this is what she wants. It was strange. I felt bad that people didn't believe her because no one knew what was happening. And then I remember I was planning a weekend away with True. It was just going to be True and I. We were going to go somewhere, stay in a hotel. She loves a good hotel, just have it be a girls' weekend. And that was going to be our weekend. We were going to just talk about the baby coming and just our last weekend, her and I together. And I remember that Thursday or Friday, my doctor called and was like, we need to deliver your son. It's an emergency. We can't wait. He has to come right now. And all the fluid was leaving my surrogate sac and we had to take him out of her body. And I remember freaking out, like, how's True going to handle this? Because we didn't get to like really go into everything. I remember being so nervous. And I went to the hospital. I obviously told True what was going on. And when I came home, from the second I brought Tatum home, she has been truly the best big sister. She loves him so, so much. He loves her. Like, they are just meant to be together. And I can't imagine life without having the two of them. But it's wild how we build so much up in our minds and they can handle it. They really, really can. And I just think they knew each other in another lifetime. They have the exact same birthmark, both on their tushes in the exact same spot, which is so weird. One's on different sides. That's the only difference, but the same spot, the same size, same mark. And I'm like, you guys, they were connected before. This was meant to be. It's crazy. The birthmark thing really trips me out. Can you talk in more detail about your cancer scare? It really left an impact on me. Well, thank you for asking me about my cancer scare because I actually love talking about it. I love bringing awareness to skin cancer. My first bout of skin cancer, I was 19 years old. When you're 19, you don't really think about how scary things can be. So I don't remember a lot. I just know my dad died when I was 19 of esophageal cancer. And then months later, I found out I had skin cancer on my back. I literally didn't even tell my family because I knew I just had to get this removed and I'll be fine. And I didn't tell them because I didn't want to worry anyone. I knew I was fine. Cancer is a really scary word. I was also 19 and you're nuts at 19 years old. So I literally drove myself to the doctor, got all the skin removed, and that was it. Didn't think much about it. Then I had this bump on my face. And sometimes I get cystic acne where you just get like one random underneath your skin pimple. And they really hurt and they don't leave for a while. So I had it here. I was convinced it was that cystic pimple. It would not go away. I was trying to pick it, all these things. I think I messed around with it for over a year. I got facials. I would ask this person, that person. No one thought it was weird. It was my same skin color. I do have a lot of beauty marks all over me, but they're brown. So I was like, gosh, maybe this is a skin color mole. I didn't know what it was. One person, when I was getting a facial, said, let's biopsy it. So we cut it out. And within days, they found out that it was melanoma. I sent it to my other dermatologist. They analyzed it. And because it's on my face, it was here, like where my cheek line is, they have to remove the tumor that's there. And you also have to take enough skin, like healthy skin, around it to make sure that the cells didn't spread. So I went to a family friend of ours, Dr. Garth Fisher. He's an amazing plastic surgeon, but I only wanted a plastic surgeon doing my face. He removed the tumor. And the scary part is you don't know how much they need to remove until they start cutting into you. They think they're getting all the borders, but they then have to test it. Anyways, we did it. Everything was perfect. He got all that he needed in the first time. And yeah, so now I don't have skin cancer, but I'm very grateful that I don't. But the reason why I like talking about it is because I had no idea, even though I've had skin cancer at 19 years old, I didn't think I could get skin cancer twice. And the type of melanoma that it was apparently is incredibly rare for someone my age. Normally it would be in children really young or much older people. So mine was a really rare situation. That to me was not what skin cancer looked like. I'm well versed on the ABCDs of skin cancer, and that wasn't what it was. So I think if anyone has any concerns about their skin, if you think something's weird, if you question anything, go to a dermatologist, get it checked. It will save your life. Mine could have been so much worse, and it wasn't because I was so proactive and willing to get it checked. And now I do my skin checks every 3 months. I'm really on top of all of my health because I would rather fix something at the beginning than try to chase after something. How did it truly feel, no filter, after seeing Lamar? Gosh, so after seeing Lamar, that was so emotionally draining for me, that whole experience. One, I haven't seen Lamar since that moment. I think it was 10 years. So not seeing someone for 10 years is crazy, but then also seeing that person and being on camera, there was a lot of different factors. I hear that people are like, oh, she ambushed him with cameras. He knew about the cameras. He actually picked the time, picked all of that stuff. He was very happy and fine with the cameras being there. And it was definitely an out-of-body experience. So when I was married to Lamar and he was in the height of a lot of the toxic things that he was doing to himself, Lamar would be late. He would be sweating. There was a lot of signs of what he was doing. So when he showed up late, I'm not saying he was using drugs. I'm just saying if he was organically late, these things triggered something in me, or it threw me back to when we were married. And when he was sweating, yes, Malika's AC broke that day. Like there were reasons why these things were happening, but those things really triggered me. So I think I automatically went into protection mode and I needed to protect myself. And I sort of blacked out and I was an autopilot. I couldn't have told you verbatim the things that I said. Like after our meeting, if you were like, so what happened? I don't think I would have been able to tell you because I was in my fight or flight mode. I was like, I got to protect myself. This is the way I'm going to do it, is just be an autopilot. We were there for about 4 to 4.5 hours. So what you guys saw was, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes of what really happened. And it was such a long 4 to 4.5 hours. It was sad because he was so strange to me. Like I didn't know him, but yet I knew him so well. I didn't think I would feel that awkward around someone that I've known so deeply and so well. I didn't need closure or anything like that. I more wanted Lamar to have his belongings and give that to Lamar. But I'm not opposed to ever meeting up with him again in maybe a more private setting just to see really how that conversation goes. I will say for me, after the fact of meeting with Lamar, it was so draining. I needed a few days to recover emotionally. And that was more, I think my subconscious just was through the ringer for that. But one of the strangest experiences I've ever felt, and it's hard to put that into words because there's sort of no more words left to say with that. It's just all feeling. What advice would you give a single mom trying to start her own business? Well, one, I think it's so courageous for anyone to start their own business. It's so scary out there, but also a single mom doing that, I'm so proud of you. You know, starting your own business is really hard. You're going to hear so many more no's than yeses. Don't give up. Don't let anyone tell you no. And I think whenever you feel like it gets really challenging and hard, think about your child. I would use that as motivation and momentum to keep going. Starting a new business on any level is challenging and hard, and you're going to have bumps in the roads. But yes, with a child, it's even harder. And don't rely or wait for everyone else to believe in you and to agree with what you're doing, because most likely people won't. And regardless if people realize this or not, there's a lot of haters in the world, even if they're really close to you. So you just got to do what's best for you, keep your eye on the prize, and use your child as the motivation. And don't take no for an answer. What is my relationship with Tristan's brother? So I love talking about Amari. For those who don't know, Tristan has a younger brother who is 18 years old, and he is severely disabled. Amari has LGS, which is a form of epilepsy, and he is disabled. He can't walk or talk. He's never been able to talk. Tristan and Amari's mom passed away a few years ago, and her name is Andrea. And Andrea was the sole caretaker for Amari, and they've lived in Canada. When Tristan's mom passed away a few years ago, me, Tristan, my whole family, we took Amari back with us to the States. Tristan is in the NBA, and he is in a different state literally every other day or every few days. And it's just not conducive for Amari to be on that many planes. Amari has a handful of seizures a day with the type of epilepsy that he has. So Amari stays in LA with me, and I have chosen to take care of him and be there for him because it's not good that he travels. California weather is so good for Amari, and I just love having Amari be a part of my family. I have two sensational caretakers for Amari, Noelle and Alba, who I love, love, love. They take care of him, and we just want to provide Amari with the best, most beautiful life that we know how, and he deserves that. And I think it's so important for my kids, my nieces and nephews, to be exposed to all different types of people in the world. I think it teaches everyone compassion, understanding. It opens up their minds to seeing, wow, Amari is disabled, sure, but he's also just like us at the same time. And I love seeing how Amari lights up when he's around the kids. He can't verbally talk, but if you know him well enough, he can definitely express himself. And you see the glimmer in his eyes, and he's just such an amazing, amazing young man. And I'm so proud and honored that I have Amari in my life. People are always like, why did I do that? Why me and Tristan aren't together? Why would I take on helping with Amari? But when I met Tristan and his family, oh my gosh, like 9, almost 10 years ago, which is crazy. When I met them, Andrea, Tristan's mom, and we became such good friends. I had such a great relationship with Andrea, and I would help her with Amari medically. She would have questions. She would need connections to certain doctors, and I would help with that. So I was very much involved in all of his medical appointments when Andrea was here. I also know how much Amari means to Andrea. And she passed away because she had a sudden heart attack. Me being in a relationship or not with Tristan, I still have this family that I've spent so many years with, that I have such connections with, that my relationship with Andrea has nothing to do with Tristan. And my commitment to her has nothing to do with Tristan. And Amari deserves someone who will be there for him, take care of him, provide a great lifestyle for him. And so Amari deserves my love and care regardless of where me and Tristan stand. Okay, what's the most interesting TikTok wormhole I've gone down recently? I don't know how recent this was, but I don't even know how I found this. Oh, I actually found it on Instagram, which is, I'm not a big TikToker. So I was on Instagram, saw a clip of something, and I was like, I need to figure this out. And it's who the F did I marry? And it was like, I'm not joking, 53 parts or 52 parts, something like that. And you guys, each video is 10 minutes long, okay? Guess who watched 1 through 53? Me. Watched it all. Who the F did I marry? When I tell you, and it's a true story about this girl, Risa Tisa, Teresa Johnson, how she tells these stories is crazy. And I think she got signed to an agency. I don't know. I can't remember which one, but she got signed, I think, for her storytelling. I don't know. I don't know that part. I'll let you guys Google that part. But this, wow, it was crazy. How the idea came to make Khloud. Well, I have been working out for a long time. I have a really bad eating habit. Like I love to eat. I love to eat bad food. I don't have the best diet. So with working out, I was always like, oh, I'm just not getting muscle. I don't have muscle. Duh, you have to have protein. But I never wanted to do both at the same time, diet and food. Over the past few years, I've really been changing my diet as best I can. I still indulge, but I've been upping my protein intake. And I've noticed such a change in my body and my muscle mass. With upping my protein intake, I was going to GNC stores, more workout type stores to get quick, easy protein snacks because I don't have time to sit and have like a full meal all the time. And just having either cookies or chips or protein bars, whatever, in my purse. Most of them taste really artificial and really chalky. And also, I don't want to eat half those things. I just wanted easier food. So Khloud came about because I wanted to have a brand, not just popcorn. I wanted to have a brand that I could trust, no seed oils, limited ingredients, nostalgic food that you want to sit and snack on, not just after the gym, at any time of day. And then it would have that nutritional additive to it, like protein, so you don't feel as guilty. That's how Khloud started. I wanted things that not only were good for you, but I am a chubby girl at heart. I need it to taste good. Taste comes first for me. And so that's how Khloud came about. And my dream for Khloud is that we will have chips and crackers and cookies and cakes and all the things that we want to eat in our pantry, but it's not empty calories, that they have something nutritional and where you don't feel as guilty eating them. And I also want it to always continue to have simple ingredients, no seed oils, no red dye 40s, no any of that kind of stuff. It was really for selfish reasons. And I also just wanted to give back to people a brand that you can trust and feel good when you are buying it. You can trust what's in there. Anyone you've dated in secret that would shock the public? Probably. That's all. How do you teach your partners about your family's way of life? I assume this means how do we integrate new men into the family seamlessly? I don't know how seamless it is. I feel like it's probably quite intimidating to go to like dinner at my mom's house and there's so many of us and we definitely move like a pack of wolves. When we always say like when you date one of us, you sort of date us all because we like to be around each other. We like to hang out with each other all the time. So everyone does have to mesh. And if you don't mesh with my family, it just wouldn't work out. But it has to be organic. I mean, I don't know that anything is methodically thought out as to how people will blend with one another. It just sort of does. But I have a really loving family that embraces people pretty easily. So I think you're lucky when you get to join my little tribe. What am I doing now that makes me so excited and happy? I feel like I'm living out all of my dreams right now. I set these goals for myself to do in my 40s, and they're all happening. So whether it be my fragrance or Khloud or this podcast right here, these are all things that I talked about and I really wanted to do. I was just too scared or in my own head that I wouldn't allow myself to do them. So now I'm doing all them. And all of these things make me excited and happy. And I can't believe it's all happening and all at one time. And it's really pinch me moments. And I just get really happy and exhilarated by it. Love the Stephen Greer episode on aliens. Me too. Any other niche interests you love? Well, I love all things conspiracy theories. I'm like, that's possible. Like, I'm not someone that will believe that there's no other options out there. Like, I think everything is possible. So, and I like to question things. So give me a conspiracy and I'm normally right there believing it. I love a good conspiracy. Some of mine are dark, but most of them are pretty, they're pretty innocent conspiracies. But I do have a handful that are dark ones. That's why I love Stephen Greer. He was so easy to talk to about these things. Yes, he's obviously an expert and knows every single thing, but he was just fascinating with all the facts he would bring. Some people will just say, that's not true. And I'm like, well, okay, why is that not true? Explain that to me. And they can't. That's what bothers me. Or they just shame me for having a difference of opinion. I just want a conversation. Believe what you want. I'll believe what I want. And we're good.
Hey, season 3.
Hello. The most outrageous thing you do to maintain your youth. Ooh, I'll do anything. I love maintaining youth. What is the most outrageous thing? I just did a salmon sperm facial. Love. I think it's microneedling. So they sort of injure your skin a little so your pores are open. And then, I don't know, they put salmon sperm in your pores. I love that. So I did something, and I wish I knew what it was called, but basically you have to sit there for 2 hours squeezing a ball, which no one told me. So your arm is dying. And there's an IV in you, or they're drawing your blood, I think, because so they remove the blood from your body and it looks like dialysis, but not for my kidneys. I don't know. And it's cleaning your blood. And it's separating the good plasma from the bad plasma. And then they just put the good plasma back into you. And apparently, I'm not a doctor, believe it or not. So I hope I'm explaining this right. But apparently it's supposed to rid your body of toxins that are in it, only be giving you back the healthiest plasma to then regenerate other plasma. I don't know. But you know what? Tell me something that's going to make me stay looking and feeling younger longer, and I'll do it. So the most outrageous thing I've done, well, I think that I've done, is therapeutic plasma exchange IV. Okay. When was a time you got in the most trouble growing up? Okay, so I was literally the best kid until then I turned about 14 and I became pretty naughty. I would say 14 to 17 were some tough years for my parents. I did a lot of rebellious things. I would say the time I got in the most trouble, so I had a phase where I stole cars for no reason. Most of them were people I knew cars, not, but I did steal I stole my mom's car, and I wanted to go to a party in Manhattan Beach, drove the car from Hidden Hills to Manhattan Beach. My mom's car was navy, and I'm telling you this because it matters later. And we were at some hotel, we were having a hotel party, bunch of young, bad kids. We were just being teenagers. I must have been 16. Let's pray. And I remember, so I parked my car in a parking structure at the hotel. There's a knock on the door. They're like, your car's on fire. And I said, my car's on fire? They're like, well, no. So basically, a man was at the hotel cheating on his wife. The wife went to the hotel, lit her husband's car on fire because he was cheating on her. Warranted. My mom's car happened to be next to this guy's car. And by my great luck, my car, only the driver's side of it is on fire. So this navy blue car turned a different color now. And I swear it was like burnt orange or red. Like it heated up so much that it changed color. And then the rubber around the windows melted onto the windows. I got so scared. And this was before maybe I had a cell phone. I know I had a pager. That's really it that I can remember. I got so scared that instead of taking my home and being like, Mom, your car caught on fire and this is why, and taking that trouble, I didn't go home because I was so afraid. So now I slept at this hotel. And of course, my parents can't find me and the car's missing. And I slept out. The next day, I take my home. Like I'm going to go home at some point, duh. And I thought my parents would be so happy to see me because I'm alive. And I come home in this car and it's like mouth of it's melted. And and I remember, all three of my parents were there that day waiting for me. My dad, my mom, Bruce were all there waiting for me when I came home. And I was grounded for probably 3 or 6 months. And at that time, like you had a house line, you didn't, but like my house phone got taken away. I was not allowed to leave the house for that long. I could go to school and I came back. Not a friend, like it was horrible. And I get it. I deserved it. It was wrong, but it was horrible. And that was bad. And like, what the are the chances? Like I was smooth sailing. No one would have known. But yeah, that was pretty bad. I did a lot of crazy things, but that was what I think right now is the worst. But like, what are the chances?
But your luck.
My luck. No, that's always why. When they're like, do you want insurance on your rental car? I'm like, definitely. Who is my dream guest on the podcast? I mean, honestly, I have had, like when I think about it, I can't believe the guests that I've had on the podcast. They have been so incredible, like the caliber of people. All these people have sparked my interest in so many different types of ways. I just feel so lucky. And the fact that I've been blessed enough just to have the amount of people I've had on and the variety of people, I really feel so, so lucky. Like it's crazy because I get excited about just not the norm type of people that might excite other people. And I just feel really, really grateful. This has just been such a fun ride for me. What's something you've healed from, but you still think about every day? Oh, wow. What a deep question. Probably the passing of my dad. I mean, I don't know if you ever heal from one of your parents passing away. Like you never heal fully, but the analogy I like to use is, if I was born with 4 limbs and one day I have to lose my arm, let's say, I can still go on with life and I function, but would I miss my arm every day? Yes. And then the more time that goes on, the easier it is because you learn to adapt. You just adapt that way, but it doesn't mean you don't miss that arm or that part of you. So I don't know if that's a corny or strange analogy, but it's a part of life that we will all lose someone. and the ones that are lucky enough to still have their parents in their life. I mean, hold on to them and be so grateful every day. And, it's definitely something that I've healed from. It's taken time, but I miss and think about my dad every single day, but with love and happiness and gratefulness that I got to have him for 19 years. Did all of my dreams come true? I think things have come true that I didn't even know that I could dream of. And I think that's the beauty of life. You just never know where things are going or what's going to happen in your life. But I definitely still dream. And yeah, I hope that we all always keep dreaming. And I think that all of our dreams will come true. Everybody out there, you just have to believe in them and never let them die. How do you deal with loneliness as a single mom? What's interesting is I don't feel a ton of loneliness. I think I am surrounded by so much love and I'm doing so many things that make my soul happy that right now a man for me isn't going to fill a void because I don't have a void. I think that person would just add to my life. They would just enrich my life. And that's what I'm looking for, is someone that would enrich my life and add. They won't take away. They won't pull me from my kids, pull me from my work. Sometimes I wish I had a partner to do things with, but I don't feel less than or lonely because I don't. So for that, I'm really grateful. But maybe a few years ago, I would have said, I felt lonelier. I think the more that I work on myself, the more comfortable I get within my skin, the more things that I'm doing that bring joy to me, like all these business opportunities, or the more that I love being a mom and I love nurturing my kids and being so immersed in their lives and my nieces and nephews and my siblings and my mom. And I think I just have a really full, amazing life. And I don't feel lonely in that regard. I get this question a lot. Would I ever date someone that's not famous? And I totally would. I would just need someone to understand my lifestyle a little bit so it doesn't scare them. There's plenty of people that I meet that are behind the scenes that totally get my job and understand all that. I probably would prefer to not date someone that's famous, but then I'm like, is that fair to do to this other person all at the same time? So, but I get that question a lot. It doesn't matter to me if you're famous. If I connect with you, then I connect with you. But I'm definitely not looking like, oh, you have to be famous. No. What would I be doing if I wasn't part of the Kardashian family? Well, I don't know, but what I think that I would be doing is working with children. I love kids. I always wanted to be a vet when I was younger, but I could never do that because I just thought vets got to play with animals all day. I didn't know you had to operate and tell people that their animal didn't make it. So for those reasons, I couldn't be, but I love children. I love special needs children, any of that stuff. I would probably be working with kids in some capacity. That's what I think I would be doing.
What's your go-to organizational tip?
I mean, what I think is so easy, my go-to organizational tip, what I think is just organize. I see people and they just jam shit in their fridge. Just junk drawer is not the word because it's not one drawer. It's every drawer is crazy. So I would just think, you don't have to have it in color coded stuff. It doesn't have to be from smallest to tallest if you can't handle all that. You don't have to alphabetically organize things. Just clean it. Everything has a home. That's my motto in my house. Okay, let's have a home for all the hangers. Let's have a home where all the Kleenex lives. That doesn't mean there's one Kleenex in this cabinet, one in that cabinet, paper towels here. No. There's the paper towel cabinet. There's the Kleenex cabinet. There's the this like, to me, that is the fundamental of organizing. And it's so easy.
How would you feel if you were dating a guy and he was perfect, but he was like not OCD?
So I don't care if you're OCD. Like, you don't have to be OCD. It's helpful if I was dating a guy and who was very particular in how he liked things. But what I can't handle is a complete and utter slob. That would be the biggest turnoff, because if you can't take care of your home, you definitely don't have good hygiene. You nasty mother. And I'm visualizing it, and it's gross. Like, your toothbrush is probably out and then you flush the toilet and all the particles, the microparticles are now landing on your toothbrush head. Like, it's disgusting. I know people like that and I'm not here for it. So you don't have to be OCD. You just have to be normally clean, or else I just know you don't clean yourself. And that's sick. I cannot believe that is a wrap on the season. This has been such an incredible ride. I'm so grateful for everyone who's watched, who's listening. I can't believe the magnitude of the guests that I've been able to talk with. My solo episodes have been so fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed them. And I really hope that this is just the beginning to so much more. So thank you guys.